Canto 3, Chapter 7, Text 40. We'll do word for word. Etan me pricha ata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me agnyas mitrad vat ajaya nasta chakshusha etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me nasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me nasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me gnasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusa etan all these me my prichata of one who inquires prashnan questions hare of the Supreme Lord karma pastimes vivitsaya desiring to know bruhi kindly describe me unto me agnasya of one who is ignorant mitra vyat because of friendship
because of friendship.
Ajaya,
Ajaya,
by the external energy.
by the external energy.
Nasta Chakshusaha,
Nasa Chakshushaha,
those who have lost their vision.
those who have lost their vision.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. My dear sage, I have put all these questions before you with a view to knowing the pastimes of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the friend of all, so kindly describe them for all those who have lost their vision. Please repeat after me. My dear sage,
My dear sage,
I have put all these questions
I have put all these questions
before you
before you
with a view
with a view
to knowing the pastimes
to knowing the pastimes
of Hari,
of Hari,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
You are the friend of all,
You are the friend of all,
so kindly describe them
so kindly describe them
for all those
for all those
who have lost their vision.
who have lost their vision.
Purport. Vidura put forward many varieties of questions with a view to understanding the principles of transcendental loving service to the Lord. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 41, devotional service to the Lord is one, and the mind of the devotee is not diverted to the many branches of uncertainties. Vidura's purpose was to be situated in that service to the Lord, wherein one merges undivertedly. He claimed the friendship of Maitreya Muni not because he was Maitreya's son, but because Maitreya was actually the friend of all who have lost their spiritual vision due to material influence. Etan me prachata prashnan hare karma vivitsaya bruhi me nyasya mitradvat ajaya nasta chaksusha. My dear sage, I have put all these questions before you with a view to knowing the pastimes of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the friend of all, so kindly describe them for all those who have lost their visions. So, the chapter is entitled Vidura's Further Inquiry to Maitreya. So, Vidura put forward questions to Maitreya Muni. Can anyone remember what those questions were? It is quite some time back, so let's recap. I've selected a few of those questions that Vidura put forward to Maitreya pertaining to this verse. O sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. Very good question. O sage, please give me instruction on the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, so that He who is situated in the heart of everyone can be pleased to impart from within knowledge of the absolute truth. So, Divya Gyan, Hriday Prakashita. Transcendental knowledge is manifested in the heart. O sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulative principles for its maintenance. You may narrate also about the auspicious characteristics of the Lord in his different incarnations for the welfare of the twice born, the cows, the demigods. Our minds are never satiated completely, although we continuously hear of the transcendental activities, of his transcendental activities. So Krishna is known as Navayovanam, meaning ever youthful. But it also means ever fresh, So one can continuously hear the pastimes of Krishna and never be satiated. Navayovanam. So it is important why Vidura asked these questions. Vidura could have just said, "Oh, great sage, you know the pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please narrate them to me." No. But he asked all these prerequisite questions. Why is it important that he asked these questions? Because it is important for us to understand the position of Krishna before we can delve into his pastimes. This is very important. Why? Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Avajanati mam mudha. When I descend in my human form, fools deride me. So therefore it's important for us to understand the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead before we delve into his pastimes. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2:41, devotional service to the Lord is one, and the mind of the devotee is not diverted to the many branches of uncertainties. Vidura's purpose was to be situated in that service of the Lord wherein one merges undivertedly. So there are three main points that Prabhupada is making in this purport. One is that one must be resolute in purpose in Krishna consciousness, must not be diverted. And two, must not be diverted to the many branches of uncertainties. We're going to discuss it just now. And three, one must inquire submissively from the bonafide spiritual master. These are three important points being made in this purport. Srila Prabhupada very expertly made reference to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 41, which we will now read. This verse is so important because it very nicely summarizes these principles that Srila Prabhupada is making in this purport. Vyavasa yatmika bodher ekeha kurunandana baho shakahi anantascha bad bodayo vyavasayanam. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyava Sayatmika Buddhi. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 62 states, Shraddha Sabde Vishva Kahe Sudrida Nischaya Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Haya. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. Sublime means something wonderful. But in this context, it means out of this world. Adokshaja. It is something that is beyond our material sense perception. Now, we can barely understand something beyond our material sense perception. How can we put full, unflinching trust, Srila Prabhupada is saying? Not just trust, unflinching trust in something that we can barely perceive. How do we do that? So faith is developed in the association of devotees. When we come to the temple and we see Patita Pavana in an ecstatic kirtan, and the devotees are joyfully dancing, and he's not getting paid a cent, he's not a paid actor, a performer where we are orchestrating this wonderful entertainment for our guests. No. When we come and we see other devotees experiencing this Krishna consciousness, faith is developed in our hearts. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. So, when one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada is saying, one is not obligated to family traditions. Now there's a very nice pastime that illustrates this. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was born in a very aristocratic and wealthy Vaishnava family. And at the early age of 15, he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He first got instructions from Haridas Thakur on transcendence. And then he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the age of 15. And he ran. The first meeting, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was against the will of his parents. His parents didn't want him to go, but he went anyway. And when he saw Mahaprabhu, this love of Krishna awoke in his hearts. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, this is not the time. You need to go back home. And when the time is right, Lord Krishna will call you. But Raghunath Das Goswami, well, at the time it was Raghunath Das, he could not be away from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service. And he ran away again from home. And his father got 10 bodyguards to watch him 24 hours a day to make sure that he doesn't run away from home. But still somehow he escaped and he went back to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then his mother decided, let's get him married. That will keep him at home, isn't it? That'll bind him to household life. So they got this most exquisitely beautiful woman as his bride. And what did Raghunath Das do? He moved away to the outskirts of the compound and he lived there. Right? So he can separate himself, disassociate himself from his family. And then still he left to go see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then his father didn't know what to do. His mother said, all the opulence that we have, the most beautiful wife is not keeping him here. We have to accept that he's going to leave. And then nationality. Must give up nationality in the service of Krishna consciousness. Sanatana Goswami was in the service by force, in the service of the King Hussain Shah, the Nawab Hussain Shah. He was a very high governed minister. And when he and Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Ramkeli, they decided to give up their service to this tyrannical king and dedicate their lives completely to the service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Rupa Goswami, he left. He cashed in his pension and he left. But Sanatana Goswami, when he tendered his resignation, Hussain Shah refused. He said, no, I cannot run this kingdom without you. So Sanatana Goswami didn't know what to do. So he called in sick. And then the Nawab sent his most his physicians to come and see what is wrong with Sanatana Goswami. Why isn't he coming to work? And then they examined him and they saw there was nothing wrong with him. Then the king finally came personally to him and said, what is wrong with you? I'm about to attack the king of Orissa. I need you to run things while I'm away. And then Sanatana Goswami said, no, you're going to plunder and destroy Vaishnav temples. I cannot be a part of this. And then the king got furious, so he arrested Sanatana Goswami. And by the arrangement of Rupa Goswami, while the king was away, they bribed the prison guard and he escaped. So this is how resolute in determination they were. Resolute in determination in Krishna consciousness. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good and bad deeds. So fruitive activities, in a nutshell, we perform an action because we want to get some enjoyment, right? So we get punya. This is the unit of measure for fruitive activities, punya. So the living entities are going through the cycle of birth and death, through the 8,400,000 species of life. But they're also going through a larger cycle. From the lower planetary systems, they're elevating themselves to the higher planetary systems, and then they're burning up their punya, and then they're coming back to the lower planetary systems. But these are the branches of uncertainties that Srila Prabhupada is talking about. When we engage in fruitive activities, we may enjoy for some time, but we don't know what the future lies ahead of us. To give an example, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishan were sons of Vishravash. But Kuvera was also a son of as well, but from a different mother. So their father told Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishan, you all should attain the same status as your brother Kuvera. So you need to perform some austerities and penances. So that's what they did. The three of them went in the freezing cold. They submerged themselves in water and they meditated. In the blistering heat, they lit fires around themselves. Right? This is penance. Then finally Lord Brahma approached them and asked them, what can I do for you? And first he approached Ravana. Ravana said, I want to become immortal, invincible. But Brahma said, no, this is not possible. Then Ravana said, okay, fine. Give me the boon that no demigod, no animal, no demon, no ghost can kill me. And Lord Brahma said, Tatastu, let it be. Then he went to Vibhishan and he said, what would you like? Vibhishan said, I just want to devotional service. And Lord Brahma said, Tatastu. Then he came to Kumbhakarna. The demigods got worried because Kumbhakarna was this gigantic personality. He was so ferocious that he used to eating apsaras. He was eating human beings and sages. So he was already causing so much of destruction and havoc. Can you imagine if he was getting power from Lord Brahma? The demigod said, please do not give him anything. He's already too powerful. Then Lord Brahma devised a plan. So he asked his wife, Saraswati, who's the goddess of intelligence, also speech. And he asked Saraswati to stupefy him, make him stupid, take away his intelligence. So that's what she did. She influenced him. So when Lord Brahma asked him, what would you like? He said, I want to sleep. So after performing all this austerity and penances for so many years, what boon did he get? The boon to sleep. These are the branches of uncertainty in fruitive activities. Prithu Maharaj performed many horse sacrifices and he was becoming very opulent and powerful. And after the 99th sacrifice, he was about to perform the 100th. And then Lord Indra became so envious. He said, this king from the earthly planet is becoming so opulent, he's becoming so powerful, he's going to rival my strength and prowess. So he devised a plan. He made himself invisible and he stole the last horse. And then Prithu Maharaj's son saw what was happening and went to attack, went to kill Indra. And Indra disguised himself as a sannyasi. He covered his body with ash. And when Prithu Maharaj's son approached him, he saw this sannyasi there, so he couldn't kill him. So he started introducing these false guru. The reason why I brought that up is we have this conception that in the heavenly planets there is all happiness. But that is contradictory, because there is opulence, there is wealth, there is enjoyment, but there is also envy. You can see how envious Indra is. And Prithu Maharaj was not the only king that Indra became envious of. So when we deal with these wealthy people, sometimes we have family members and etc. The only thing they talk about is their wealth, their cars, their houses. The wives talk about the jewelry and the clothing. That's all they talk about. That's the idea of happiness. But all it does is attracts envy. This is the world of envy. This material world is a world of envy. But the spiritual world is a world of love. That is where the real enjoyment is. Love. Envy just breeds hatred. Also, Daksha was so envious of Lord Shiva. This is taking place in the heavenly planets. So they have all this opulence, bodily strength, beauty, but they're still so envious. And whatever you see going on here is still taking place. That's why Krishna is saying, Brahma, Bhuvana, Loka. From the highest planet down to the lowest planet, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death takes place. So these are the branches of uncertainty Srila Prabhupada is talking about. And even whilst they are enjoying in the heavenly planets like Lord Indra, there is uncertainty that the demons may attack at any time and overthrow the king of the throne of Indra. Once, when Indra was victorious over the demons in battle, and he was celebrating, rightly so, he was celebrating. Huge feast, beautiful woman. That's the idea of enjoyment in heavenly planets. Just then, his guru appeared to visit him, Brihaspati. And then Indra told him, no, come back later. His guru got offended. He said, you are eating and you're enjoying amongst women. I curse you to become a pig. So even though we perform all these austerities, these penances, and we sacrifices, and we get this wonderful position, and then, like that, we become a pig. Branches of uncertainty. Once, Lord Krishna in Dwarika, while Rukmini was fanning him, he started smiling, and then Rukmini got offended. She said, what is going on here? I'm putting my love and devotion and serving you, and then now you're just laughing. What happened? And then Krishna told Rukmini, you see that ant on the floor? She said, yes. That ant was Lord Indra 7 times. So the Jiva Atma performed so much of austerities, penances and sacrifices to attain the position of Indra, and then he came back down and he went through that cycle 7 times. Branches of uncertainty. And then we see Lord Vamana is actually the brother of Indra. He is born the son of Aditi and Kashyapa. And they live in the same house together. They share food together. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the brother of Indra. So when we question, how come Indra is not engaged in pure devotional service? And Krishna gives the answer. Bhogeshvarya prasaktanam taya pahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi. Again the word comes up. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Samado na vidiyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination in devotional service does not take place. So Indra is interacting with Lord Vamana on a daily basis. But this resolute determination that we spoke about, the 3 principles Srila Prabhupada is talking about in the purport, the resolute determination in devotional service is not taking place in his heart. Why? Because too attached to material opulence, branches of uncertainty. Now we see Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest to perform austerities and penances for what? For material gain, isn't it? Hiranyakashipu went to the forest to perform austerities and penances for what? Material gain. Both of them did the same action, isn't it? But what was the result? Dhruva became a pure devotee of the Lord, and Hiranyakashipu attained power and became a bigger demon. Why? What happened there? Where is that branch of uncertainty? Where that took place? Dhruva Maharaj performed these austerities and penances to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hiranyakashipu performed these austerities and penances to please Lord Brahma. There is a difference, the first difference. The second is, Dhruva Maharaj was instructed by a pure devotee, Narada Muni, and Hiranyakashipu was not. You see, Dhruva Maharaj was resolute in determination in Krishna consciousness, and he was instructed by his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. See, one of the three principles that we're discussing. But Hiranyakashipu was not. We are quickly running out of time here. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. This is a good one, applies to us. What does that mean? Does that mean that now that we're in Krishna consciousness, all is well? C'est la vie, Hakuna Matata? Huh? There's no worries? No. When we go out on book distribution, sometimes we come back empty-handed. But actually, coming back empty-handed is a good thing, isn't it? When change, put in other words. When we go out in on book distribution and we don't sell any books, the fact that you engaged in this devotional service, you will still get the benefit. This is what it means. And sometimes when you're preparing a Bhagavad Gita class and you pour your heart and soul into preparing and doing the research and putting a nice PowerPoint presentation, and then only 2 people attend your class, you still get a benefit. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. So there were 8 Vasus, and one of them decided to steal a cow. I'm going to have to cut the story short because of time. One of them decided to cut the cow. They steal the cow of this great sage. And then they were cursed by this great sage to take birth on the earth planet. And they begged forgiveness. And then the sage said, okay, when you take birth, the 7 of you that were just bystanders, you will, as soon as you take birth, you will immediately return to the heavenly planets. But the person who stole the cow, he will remain. Now those 8 children were born to Ganga Devi and King Shantanu. Now when King Shantanu proposed marriage to Ganga Devi, she had one requirement. She said that if you want to marry me, it's under this condition, that no matter what I do, you will not question it. Sound like the modern wives of today, isn't it? So he was so attached to her beauty, he agreed. And then when Ganga Devi had her first child, she immediately went to the Ganges and she drowned the child. And then King Shantanu didn't know what to do. He was devastated. My firstborn child, this is my own, the mother of my child is drowning her own child in the Ganga. What is going on here? And like that, she did it 7 times. On the 8th time, he had to stop her because this was an atrocity. But Ganga Devi is a pure devotee. She understood this curse by the Brahmana. So she was fulfilling this curse. So on the externally, we see that she's murdering her own children. But internally, what is she doing? She's saving them from the miseries of this earthly planet and to enjoy in the heavenly planets. Can you see that? You understand that point? The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. I was going to tell you the pastime, but we don't have time. We'll just skip to this very, very important section of the purport. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is bona fide representative of Krishna. This is very important. Who knows the nature of the student. More importantly, the spiritual master who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti instructs us in this famous praise to the spiritual master as follows: Yasya prashadat bhagavat prashado, yasya prashadat nagati kutopi, dayam stuvam stasya yasya strisanyam, vande guru shri charanara vrindam. By the satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. Very, very powerful purport. So, it's very nice. Why is it so important to take instruction from the spiritual master? Why can't we just go and practice Krishna consciousness? The process is quite simple, isn't it? Chanting, dancing, eating. But there are of the 6 enemies that we have: lust, greed, anger, pride, envy. Illusion is the most subtle of them all. Anger, we know when we're angry. When we understand we have a problem, then we can address it. But illusion is so subtle, we don't know that we're under illusion. That is why it is the most dangerous of our 6 enemies. Illusion. How does it manifest itself? As mental speculation. We discussed this a couple of weeks ago. This is how Kali destroyed the Brahmanical culture. He introduced mental speculation. Now the spiritual master will cut that as soon as he sees this illusion in you. In his disciple, he will cut that out immediately. Therefore, there's 2 concepts. The spiritual master's instructions, there's passive and there's active. One may say, well, all Prabhupada's instructions are in his purports. isn't it? But that active principle is important. Srila Prabhupada is saying in this purport here, by one who, the spiritual master, you must get instruction from the spiritual master who knows the nature of the disciple. It's like this. You know, in nursery school, we ask the children, what would you like to be when you grow up? And the child said, ma'am, I want to be a doctor. Now, if the teacher takes the medical science university level textbook and give it to the nursery school child, what do you think is going to happen? Will that child become a doctor? No. First, the child needs to know these ABCs. Then the child needs to know how to read and write. Then the child needs to know this is my nose, this is my toes. Then he needs to learn biology. Then he can go to the university level. So we have, look at here, this is the medical textbooks by the Goswamis, by Prabhupada himself, with the purports. Can we take these books and just open any book willy-nilly, turn to some page, study it and say, I'm Krishna conscious? No. The spiritual master will will extract the essence of the literature and apply it to his disciple according to time, place and circumstances. That is the active principle of instruction of the spiritual master. Get the point? Toward the end of the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, Maitreya was actually the friend of all who have lost their spiritual vision due to material influence. There's a very nice verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabo Naya Shravanadi Sudha Site Karaya Udhaya. Pure love of Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. So the pure love of Krishna is already in the heart. So what the spiritual master does, the spiritual master is the ultimate heart surgeon. Right? The spiritual master cleanses the heart of the living entity so that this pure love is revealed. This we spoke about avyaya sayatmika buddhi. This resolute, this intelligence by which one is resolute in Krishna consciousness. Where does that come from? It comes from the spiritual master. This resolute determination in Krishna consciousness comes from the spiritual master. So that we are not diverted by these many branches of uncertainty. Get the point? Now, Christian Barnard, on the 3rd of December 1967, performed the first heart transplant in South Africa. He was a revolutionary personality of his time. He founded the principle of heart transplant. Such a revolutionary person in medical science he created, you can call him an acharya. So Christian Barnard is the founder acharya of heart surgery. But he was, in his wisdom, he understood that he will not be around for ever and ever. So he put all his knowledge of heart surgery into his books. And his books are being distributed to universities throughout the world, and they're training other heart surgeons. So when we have a heart problem, can we go to Christian Barnard for help? No, he's not around. He's put his knowledge in his books. His bona fide representatives are the trained heart surgeons of today. But we can go to them when we need help with our heart problems. Get the point? I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions, comments, corrections? All glories to my Guru Maharaj.
I learned so much in it. Not just the content, but also the vyavasayatmika buddhi, your determination. Thank you.
Thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Guru Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.